Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Fuller, and as Chair of the Board, I welcome you to this February 4th, 2025 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Our office coordinator, Aaron Smith, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Aaron.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's board meeting, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. If you're here in person and would like to make comment, please fill out the sign-in sheet now. If you're joining us virtually, we will ask you to raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. If you're joining us virtually and are experiencing technical issues with audio or video during the meeting, submit a comment in the chat feature and our communications manager will help you troubleshoot. If you would like closed captioning during this meeting, you'll have to manually change your settings. Click on the captions button and select show captions. The audio and video of this meeting is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be posted to wcroads.org in the next few days. There are printed copies of today's meeting agenda on the table near the front door, and it is also posted on our website. And now I'll turn it back over to Chair Fuller.
Thank you, Aaron. I now call this February 4th, 2025 regular meeting to order and ask Aaron to call the roll.
Chair Barb Fuller.
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Present.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Present.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Present.
And Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Present.
And then the following directors are in attendance. Managing Director Matt McDonald, our Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer Brent Schlack, our Director of Operations Adam Leip, and our Director of Finance Dan Ackerman.
Thank you. Let's join us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum,
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the agenda is approved as presented. We have two sets of minutes today to accept. May I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of January 21st, 2025, appearing on pages 3 through 10 of the packet?
So moved. Second.
Additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none. Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. The board meeting minutes of January 21st, 2025 are accepted as presented. May I have a motion to accept the working session minutes of January 21st, 2025, appearing on pages 11 through 13 of the packet?
So move.
Second. Sorry.
Additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none. Aaron, please.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the working session minutes of January 21st, 2025 are accepted as presented. Next item is the report of our county commission liaisons. It appears that Commissioner Sanders is with us from District 4. Commissioner, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I do want to share with you that the Board of Commissioners is having their meeting this Wednesday. Working session is at 5:30, general meeting is at 7. And then this Friday, we will be holding our policy priority retreat from 9 until 4 p.m. at the Blackbird Lodge at Stabler Farm County Park. It is a public meeting. People are welcome to join us. That's it.
Commissioner, where is that being held again, please?
It is being held, hold on a minute. It is being held at the Blackbird Lodge, which is located at Stabler Farm County Park, 7734 Plymouth Road, Ann Arbor.
Thank you.
From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I believe that we're going to have a couple of elected officials for our lunch hour that include our new Water Resource Commissioner, Gretchen Driscoll, our new sheriff, and our new treasurer, Letitia Sharp, and I believe Prosecutor Savitt and County Clerk Kessenbaum will be there as well during our lunch hour.
Thank you.
Certainly. That's it for me.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. It does not appear that Commissioner Light is with us today, so we will move on to public comment. This is the time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board, and Aaron will explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. Since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we will take turns between those attending in person and virtually. For virtual attendees, we have provided some instructions on the screen on how to participate and make comment. If you're attending this meeting virtually and would like to make comment, please raise your hand now. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. Our communications manager will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time and will announce your username or the last 4 digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. Please share your name and address before beginning your comments. And then for our in-person attendees, we will start with those who signed up on the sign-in sheet as you walked in. If you didn't sign in, you're still welcome to make comment. We'll notify you when it is your turn.
Thank you. David, did you have it? No, no comment? All right, and I don't see anyone in the waiting room, right?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. There are no public comments at this time. Written communications is our next agenda item appearing on pages 14 and 15 of the packet. Commissioners, anything you wish to draw our attention to? Commissioner McCollum?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to know, when I looked under page 15, road work advisories, the signal improvements for intersections, just curious about what is happening there, what improvements are being done.
Was that not, did you go to the links or not?
I did, and one of them said something about disability improvement, but the other ones just said improvements. It didn't, it wasn't specific.
Okay.
So I was just wondering what
Mr.
specific.
McDonald?
Yes, this is part of our congestion mitigation air quality grant project that includes a number of signals. That is also a joint project, I believe, with the city of Saline. We are upgrading equipment by and large. So a lot of it is equipment investments. If there are American Disability Act upgrades, it's typically, for example, doing the countdown for the pedestrian crossing and making sure the buttons and are located properly. But I don't know if there's anything more to add, Mr. Schlack. Okay. Okay.
No, there's not much to add.
Identify yourself, please.
Yeah, sorry. Brent Schlag, Director of Engineering. No, there's not much to add. That is in partnership with the city of Saline, also MDOT. And as Matt indicated, those ADA, the reference would be for any countdown pads or audible pads associated with those equipment upgrades. It's mainly like detection, things for us to communicate with these traffic signals.
Great, thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Anything else, commissioners? Seeing none, there's no need for follow-up to public comment. New business, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 4? Motions appearing on page 16 through 18 of the packet. Background is on pages 20 through 28.
Support.
Any items desiring clarification? Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas,
Yes.
Commissioner Joy McCollum,
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Burt Fuller.
Yes, the consent agenda is approved as presented. We have one action item today. May I have a motion to vote for 2 representatives for the southern section to the County Road Association Board of Directors? The motion appears on page 19, background on pages 29 through 32. Commissioner Green.
Madam Chair, I move that the board hereby votes for Larry Brown from the Allegan County Road Commission to serve as a Southern Section seat 3-year term ending in 2028, and Scott Merlack from the Lenawee County Road Commission to serve as a Southern Section seat 4-year term ending in 2029 for the County Road Association Board of Directors.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions about these two gentlemen or any other nominations? All right, seeing none. Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes?
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas, and Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes. The action item is approved as read by Commissioner Green. Next, we have reports of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner Yamas.
So I like to report,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sure. We did have a closed session on the agenda and then an item after that.
You okay back there? Ah, you're right. At this time, I'd like a motion to begin our scheduled closed session under Section 8E of the Open Meetings Act, being Act 267 of 1976, to discuss the proposed settlement of condemnation, case number 23-001297-CC, being Washtenaw County Road Commission versus Janet Reynolds Snyder, trustee of the Snyder Trust, dated January 18th, 2010, related to the acquisition of public road right-of-way and a temporary grading permit necessary upon parcel 2 on the Miller Road at Zeeb Road Roundabout Project in Scioto Township, for the reason that an open meeting would have a detrimental financial effect on the litigating or settlement position of the public body. Aaron, if you would call the roll, please, for, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes?
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, we are in closed session. Are we going to stay here? We're going upstairs? Okay.
Yes.
Entertain a motion at this time to end our closed session.
So moved.
Support.
Aaron, if you'd please call the roll.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes?
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes, we have returned to open session. At this time, I would entertain a motion that will be read by Commissioner Green.
Madam Chair, I move that upon the recommendation of the County Highway Engineer Director of Engineering and concurrent of the Managing Director, and upon the recommendation of council, the board hereby approves settlement of the lawsuit Board of Road Commissioners for Washtenaw County versus Reynolds Snyder, trustee, case number 23-001297-CC, for a total payment of $49,813.93 from the Road Commission.
Is there a second?
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Aaron, if you would please.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes?
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bart Fuller.
Yes. The motion is approved as presented. Now then, we will move on to reports of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner Yamas.
So I attended the Washtenaw County Road Commission chat on 1/22, a Wednesday. There was no attendees, but great conversation with staff. On January 31st, I attended CRA's virtual class on Earned Sick Time Act, which was very educational. And on February the 3rd, I attended the Southeast Council meeting in Lenawee County. That's my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Green?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On February 3rd, I attended the meeting of the Southeast Council of the County Road Association, gave a report for the negotiating committee, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Smurs?
No report at this time.
Commissioner McCollum?
Madam Chair, on January 28th, I met with Dustin Early, Deputy Director of Engagement of the County Road Association of Michigan. We discussed my presentation on the Impressive Awards for the Highway Conference and Roadshow that will be in March. On January 29th, I attended the chat with the Road Commission. We did not have any attendees. On January 30th, I attended the Earn Sick Time webinar. It was very informational. On February 3rd, I attended the Southeastern District Road Agencies. This meeting was about all the County Road Association committees and agencies coming together and giving their report. The committees that are there are General Policy Committee, Finance Human Resource Committee, Engineering Committee, Negotiating Committee, Commissioners Committee, which I am on, Superintendent's Committee, Public Relations Committee, Education, and Road Plus Committees. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
I will report that on January 24th, I donated blood at the Washtenaw County Road Commission Blood Drive. On January 28th, I attended the memorial service for Catherine McClary, former Washtenaw County Treasurer. On January 29th, I attended the One Big Connection community meeting in Chelsea. This session is an activity of the Five Healthy Towns Foundation, which seeks to foster cooperation between over 25 community organizations who seek to improve the well-being of the 5 communities, which is where the name comes from. It encompasses the city of Chelsea, Manchester, Dexter, Stockbridge, and Grass Lake. On February 1st, I attended the bi-monthly meeting of the Dexter Forum, and by request, a special Washtenaw County Road Commission presentation was provided by Nate Murphy, our senior project engineer, and Aaron Burkholz, our assistant director of engineering. The focus was on the 2025 road improvements for the roundabout, 26 improvement for the roundabout at Dexter Chelsea Road and Main Street, as well as the Island Lake Road and Dexter Pinckney Road intersection. They did a great job. Aaron, you've got a road show in your future. There were a lot of questions at a previous Dexter forum, and Nate and Aaron attended and did their informational presentation in response to that specific request. On February 3rd, I attended the quarterly meeting of the Southeastern District Road Agencies at the Lenawee County Road Commission, as well as with others. That concludes my report. We will move on to staff reports and Washtenaw County Road Commission updates. The staff reports appear on pages 33 through 46, and I'll turn it over to Matt.
Thank you, Chair Fuller. Any questions on the staff report provided in the board packet?
Commissioner McCollum?
Madam Chair, on page 42, the ticket types, I was just curious to see, and this could have been here before, I just didn't notice it, but it says new hire request. So what do they,
What is
Yeah.
that?
yeah, explain that to me.
Anytime we have a new hire, the supervisor is responsible for putting in a ticket request to IT so they can set up their email and any equipment they may need for their job.
Okay,
Absolutely,
thank you.
no problem.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'll also report that on January 23rd, I had the opportunity to meet with our Water Resource Commissioner, Gretchen Driscoll, and had a good introductory meeting and kind of talked about our two organizations, the partnerships and areas where we work together, and just current projects, and answer any questions she had about the road commission. Look forward to working with her, and we have a lot of coordination that we have, especially our staff. Our engineering department works with her staff quite a bit, so we have monthly meetings or quarterly meetings, depending on how much is going on. Also, I wanted to note that tomorrow, the M52 properties that we own, the bids are due. These are properties in Sharon Township where we're looking at selling the excess property, and we will be evaluating the bids that come in and reporting back to the board at next meeting. I'll also follow up with the correspondence to let you know what the results were. So
What time is that opening?
that is at 10 a.m.
Thank you. Here?
Yes, it's electronically, but yes, we will be finding some space in the building to open those electronic bids.
There's a,
And also if there were, I'm not sure if we were accepting handwritten as well. I think we were in this case. So with that, I'll go ahead and bring Brent Schlack up, give the engineering report.
Hello, good afternoon. Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. I just had a few updates today. Staff's continuing to work on 2025 to finalize those projects for bid. And we're working on 26 projects as well. We do have an upcoming public meeting, but on the website, Tiffany is going to pull up. So we have all the tiles finalized for the website. And so if she can go to so she has the main page up and she goes to our road work, our current projects. Then the one project that I'd like to discuss is our resurfacing project. So this is a list of all of our projects for this year, and particularly is our countywide paving resurfacing. We do have a public meeting scheduled for February 14th at 11 a.m. This is our countywide resurfacing projects, which would include our HMA resurfacing, our pulverization projects, and our gravel road resurfacing. So it'll be a joint public meeting with engineering and operations. And that's February 14th at 11 a.m. And so you can see on the website, these are all the roads that we'll be paving this next year or
Is
this
that-
year.
Is that a virtual public meeting or?
That is a virtual public meeting, yes, at 11 a.m.
Commissioner
Yeah,
McCullough?
Madam Chair, I just want to say that I like how this is set up where you can see the funding for each project. And I'm signed up for the email, so I did get an email about this.
Oh, great.
Yes,
That's really good. Yeah, we have a lot of paving this season. And this will be our main focal public meeting for this construction season.
Oh, Commissioner Green?
Yes.
And I'm assuming that all the public meetings are noticed on our website or no?
Yes, they are. Yeah, so Tiffany and her staff will put notices out, which this has been, and contact residents that are impacted for these projects, residents and businesses. We also will put out message boards. In this case, it's difficult because we have so many miles of roadway. But that's our plan would be to get message boards out to try and rotate those through some of these projects.
Do you know how long the notice is for? 2 weeks, a month?
Typically 30 days is
30
what
days.
her and her staff like to get notices put out. I believe this notice was submitted, I don't know, help me Tiffany on, I think it was just recently, maybe last week, the notice for the public meeting went out. But we had sent notices to the property owners and businesses. We typically like 30 days.
The letters have been sent already to the affected property owners. They receive a letter in the mail. And then this goes out afterwards.
Thank you.
This form of media goes out afterwards, once we feel as though they received the letter in the mail. And then it will be posted on social media.
And I think you sent the notice to all of us, right?
Yeah, oh, yes, everyone
Yeah, you would have gotten it in the email.
in your email, all townships, everyone gets this mailing.
Thank you.
If I could also add, with it being a hybrid meeting, we do record the meetings. So if someone were to miss, they can go back and watch it. And then we have, obviously, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll have the contact information. If you've got questions for the project manager, and in this case, Ken is for our resurfacing of gravel roads, and then we have other project managers for the resurfacing of our paved roads.
Yeah, so Tiffany has gone to one location where we're doing gravel road resurfacing, but you can see the tiles here. So if you click on what segment of road you're interested in, then the project manager will be listed on that, within that tile. So in this case, it's Kevin, making one of our project managers.
Impressive work to have all that loaded.
And again, if you look at the screen, you can also subscribe. So if you don't want all those roads information on it. You can subscribe to specific ones that you're looking for. So,
Yeah, this is a huge lift. Thanks for Alan Squire, our GIS. He does a lot of the mapping and a lot of that information, and Tiffany and her staff have the biggest lift on this, on putting all these websites together. But it is a joint effort. Aside from that, we did open bids for our Tyler Road repair. Those were open this past Friday at 10 a.m. The as read low bidder is Erie Construction. That was the as read was $288,739. And our engineer's estimate was $267,000. So it's about 8 or 9% above our engineer's estimate. That will come in front of this board next meeting for approval of those bids. But I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up that those bids were open. So that start date, based on our bid package, based on the documentation, again, we'll have to have a pre-construction meeting with the contractor. They are allowed to begin as of March 3rd. And we would like to have a completion of May 30th. But again, we will have that pre-construction and we'll find out more on their schedule. Aside from that, that's all I had.
Any questions for Brett?
All right, thank you.
thank you, Brent. Next up is Mr. Ackman, who's particularly busy this week. So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see you here. Dan.
Yes,
You're hiding, aren't you?
that's right.
Getting a break from
Yeah.
any questions that arise during an audit.
Yep. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance, and it is day 2 of the site work for the audit. And I'm still standing, so that's good. So far, so good, seems to be going well. Typically the auditors will be on site for about a week. Certainly, there's a lot of lead up to them. Sometimes people think, oh, the audit's just a week. Really, it's an entire year because we're auditing ourselves every day, myself and my staff. And we have a collaborative site, like a SharePoint site, that information can be submitted. So I've submitted a majority of the things prior to them even being out here. So they can already do a lot of preliminary work, and it just speeds the audit along. And then we'll have a site work for about a week. And then also the misconception is, oh, the auditors are gone, so the audit must be done. Oh, no, there's lots of email exchanged and phone calls and so on. So, I mean, the entire process is probably about at least a month. But it's going well. And, I don't have exact numbers, of course, because they're still auditing it. But, I can safely say that the budget that the board approved for year end 2024, our numbers are coming in better than we presented to you, which is pretty much by design. But by how much, I don't feel comfortable sharing that right now, but so far so good as far as the numbers as they're coming in. So really feeling good about that. We can talk Michigan Transportation Funds, which I think we did at the last meeting. I think they just came in, but on the last page of your board packet, we received probably our largest Michigan Transportation Funds since I've been here. $4.2 million, which again, that's the marijuana tax that's being included. Again, I'm always a little nervous. Leading into that last month, I was a little concerned. Certainly you want your revenues to come in higher than we budgeted, and was on pins and needles a little bit. But so again, we got our largest Michigan Transportation Funds ever, and was up 5% from what was probably our largest ever last December. And for the year, then we're about 1%. So that's the disappointing part. It was pretty much flat from last year, which again, some of the state of Michigan projections were, I think anywhere from like 3 to 5%. It looks like they typically come up with estimates in February. And I've checked a couple of times. I'll continue to check. So we'll see if they've ratcheted that down, or maybe they know something I don't. But, certainly our, nicer increases year to year seem to have flatlined, which I guess that doesn't surprise me too much, either with the price of gas or fuel efficient vehicles, you know. So time will tell, but, and you can see our budget was 36,750, so we're about 100,000 over. Would I like that to be more than 100,000? I would, but we'll take it, so. So I don't know if there's any questions on that at all.
Questions for Danny?
And then lastly, I also attended, the memorial for Catherine McClary. If you recall, she was the, outgoing county treasurer that untimely passed in early December. I brought, a copy of the, memorial. And you can see she was a very, very active person. This is all about her life and her legacy, and just really impressed. You had politicians there, of course. You had a lot of folks from the banking industry. You had lawyers there. You had family members, fellow treasurers. You had citizens that she worked with. County treasurer, obviously you need to pay your property taxes. But she implemented so many programs to try and keep people in their homes, and some were there. Some like just had life-changing stories and interactions with her. There was a story, and I got there late anyway, because I was actually here working, but something about there was a property owner that couldn't pay their taxes, and they were the family was in a bad way, and they had dependents and all sorts of challenges, and they also had a cat. And apparently Catherine helped out with their cat. I think took the cat home or took it to the Humane Society. So just the little things that that made her a special person. And so various people got up and gave speeches about the impact they made, and there were several treasurers that said they learned under her, and everything that they do is based on her training and everything. But there was a business owner, and the business owner, I'm assuming there was something involving property taxes. I didn't hear that part. But it was fairly contentious, and the business owner didn't necessarily agree, but ended up paying their bill, and apparently she paid in pennies. So I don't know how much she owed, but she had brought a huge jars of pennies to pay her bill. But she said that Catherine, kind of apologized to her about some of the things, the way they went and so on. And then they became friends. So it was just kind of neat stories like that. And, so it was a nice night to celebrate her legacy. And Rod, you were in one of the pictures in the slideshow. Apparently she had gone to your church maybe at some point.
I think she, yeah.
Yep.
she did.
So I'm like, oh, there's Rod. So
Wasn't about a foreclosure.
wasn't about a foreclosure, but anyway, so it was just a nice night to honor her, and did not get it. Of course, the new treasurer was there, and did not unfortunately get a chance to meet her, but hopefully soon. I did get a chance to send my condolences or give my condolences to her husband, Catherine's husband. Also through the course of the night, I was talking to the deputy treasurer, and she mentioned she's retiring. So I was a little taken aback by that, because she kind of represents the continuity a little bit. But she said she's still going to stay on, even after she retires. They want to see a smooth transition. And there are still several others at the treasurer's office that have been there for a while. So I still feel okay about all that. And, also I do want to have the new treasurer here at some point, to just introduce herself to the board and vice versa. And, kind of talk about her philosophy. I think she worked for county parks for a while.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
And then she
And-
worked in Administrator Dill's office. as well.
Yes, right. She knows Catherine pretty well. And I get a sense she has similar approaches to the job, which is great because, again, I think Catherine made a lot of wise decisions through her course of through her several terms, almost 30 years. But I also like her approach wasn't just about trying to just collect all the money and so on, and, you know, to heck with everybody else I'm working with. I think she really tried to do all she could to work with property owners, make sure that people stay in their homes. There are a lot of programs she created, and I was just going to share this with the board if you want to take a look at it, but
Thank
Yeah,
you for your comments, Dan.
yeah, it was just a really nice night, so. And that's all I have.
All right.
All right, thank you, Dan. Next up is Mr. Lake, operations report.
Good afternoon, Adam Lake, Director of Operations. So we all pretty likely aware by now the temperatures came up a little bit, so our crews have been able to get out on the roads a little bit. So this week, a little bit of last, been focusing on a lot of surface maintenance, both paved and unpaved, and then some forestry work. We did talk about in the working session how our planning and to kind of approach an event for winter weather. So Mother Nature is going to provide that opportunity tomorrow night for us to exercise some of those planning techniques and tactics that we deploy. So just updates so everybody kind of understands likelihood of temperature rising actually tomorrow night. So this is Wednesday evening towards Thursday early morning hours. And what that's going to create is an opportunity for some icing throughout the county. So this will be one of those times where, in theory, with icing, we consider that an emergency scenario. So we'll likely schedule our crews and have them back here to the facility sometime between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. So 10 p.m. Wednesday, 12 a.m. Thursday, somewhere in there. We'll work all the way through that shift and hopefully 16 hours or less be able to go home at 3:30 Thursday afternoon. So probably going to see a little bit of icing, but the way that is, and some of the things we talked about in the last working session, you have to be proactive and be ahead of the event by a few hours because you don't want to be behind with icing conditions. So we'll get our crews here, get them out in trucks and get them moving and patrolling throughout the county. So I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of build a little bit more on what we talked about a few weeks ago. So that really is all the update. If anybody has any questions on that, certainly do ask, but maintenance has been relatively stagnant here because we had to wait on some of the freezing temperatures. We couldn't quite work the roads very well, other than just pothole patching. So now with the temperatures coming up a little more favorable, we've been able to get out and get doing a little bit more maintenance.
Any questions for Adam?
All right.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our reports.
That's it. Okay. I will offer the following reminders. On February 18th, it's our next meeting. We have a working session at 9 a.m. and a regular meeting at 1. February 27th is the Roads 101 that is for the township elected officials, 10 a.m. to noon here. The chat session's coming up tomorrow, Commissioner Smers, the 12th of February, I'm on tap. February 19th is Commissioner Green. The 26th is Commissioner Yamas. And it's looking out further, April 17th, we start our summer hours here. We go to 4 10-hour days, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then on August 4th, we will actually be hosting the Southeastern District Road Agency's meeting here. It's the one we went to Lenawee County for yesterday. It will be here on August 4th. If there's no further business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support. Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Joy McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green
Yes.
and Commissioner Burt Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.